examinations, and we have the table called students with two columns, student ID and student name. Student ID is the primary key for this table. Each row of this table contains the ID and the name of the student in the school. Subjects is only one column, which is subject name, and it is the primary key for this table. Each row of this table contains the name of one subject in the school. Examinations has two columns. There is no primary key for this table. It may contain duplicates. Each student from the students table takes every course from the subjects table. Each row for this table indicates that a student with student ID, attended the exam of subject name. Write a solution to find the number of times each student attended each exam. Return the result table ordered by student ID and subject name. The result format is in the following example. So the input data looks like this: student ID and student name, a subjects table which has three values, an examinations table that shows the examinations that the students take, and the output looks like this. And there's one key element in the output, that we still get a value even though, for example, in this case, Bob didn't take the physics exam, but still there's a value of 0. So this is the critical thing about this question. So we are going to be writing the SQL based on this information, because if we don't take into consideration, then we're not going to be getting the right result. So this is the key thing. And in the explanation, it says the result table should contain all students and all subjects. Alice attended the math exam 3 times, the physics exam 2 times, and the programming exam 1 time. Bob attended the math exam 1 time, the programming exam 1 time, and did not attend the physics exam. Alex did not attend any exams. So, for example, Alex didn't take any exams. And John attended the math exam 1 time, the physics exam 1 time, and the programming exam 1 time. So it's basically, for each student, it's counting how many times it attended the exams. Okay, let's get started writing the query and see where it goes. From students T1, and with the subjects table. So what I want is for each student to have, so for the subjects we have only math, physics, and programming. What I want is for each student, I want 3 rows: math, physics, and programming, no matter if they attended to the exam or not. So that's the key thing, because if that wasn't the case, then I will be writing it in a different way. So what type of join should I be using? Pause the video and think about it. Okay, so if you thought about cross join, that's a useful method for this particular case. Subjects T2. This is gonna create each student for each subject. So each student there's going to be 3 rows for each student when I write this. And of course there's no join condition for the cross joins, and it's not very typical. Like 99% of the time you don't need to use anything besides inner join or outer joins, but this is an exception. All right, so now I'm going to be writing a query to count the number of times each student attended each subject, and I'll be counting that. And that is also going to be a join, and it's going to be a left join in this case. Select student ID. Let me check the table again. It's examinations table. Student ID, subject name. I'm going to be counting, and then I'll say group by student ID and subject name. Okay. And there was going to be a result table ordered by student ID and subject name. So I'm going to say t1 dot student id and t2 dot subject name says order by. I'm going to not write the name of the, but where the columns are, the first column and the second column. And then here I'm going to put an alias exam count. I'm gonna put it here. Let's run and see the result. Okay, it says alias error. I forgot to put an alias. Order by 1 and 2. If I remove this, yes, one thing I forgot to write the join condition, right? So student ID and subject name should be the join conditions. T1 student ID, T3 student ID, and T2 subject name should be equal to T3 subject name. Let's try one more time. Unknown column student ID. And field this. Where is it? Where is my student ID? Oh, sorry, I forgot to write the name of the table here. It's called examinations. All right. Seems like we are on the right path. Student ID, subject name, exam count. It says attended exams. That's okay. We can write that. And one thing I'm gonna be changing, instead of null values, I'm going to be using what is the keyword. You can pause the video and think about it. We already mentioned it in the other videos. When you watch the other videos, you'll see that I'm using one keyword to avoid null values and replace them with another value, a numeric value. What is that? Okay, Qualys. Qualys is our darling. Right. Attended exams. And run it again. And we will we need student name too. I'm gonna write here student name, and I need to change the order here because I just changed the order. Perfect. It seems like it's working. And perfect, it's working. So guys, if you have any questions, you can let me know in the comments or you can DM me. Always feel free to ask me questions. I don't see any questions recently. I want to answer your questions. Make sure that you're progressing. I want to follow up with you guys to see how you guys are doing, what you do, learn SQL. I mean, the critical thing in this example, as I said earlier, was to think about this cross join because I want to see the count. And if I don't use the cross join, then for some of the students who didn't go take some of the subject exams, it wasn't going to be appearing in the result set, but I need them. And I need to see the value 0 to make sure that every students has number of subjects. In this case, it was only 3 subjects, so I have to see each student 3 times. That's why I use the cross join. And Qualys, as always, to avoid the null values and replace them with 0 in this case. It's not an easy one, I would say. Even though it says easy, it's not easy. So guys, let's keep going. There are like in total 50 questions. I think this is like the 10th or 11th one. I don't know. We'll move on to the next one. I'll see you on the next one.